Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So I want to give you an update for the Philadelphia Eagles. There have been some new signings, some roster changes have happened. Want to talk about all that good stuff. So let's get straight into the news.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day, and we're just waiting here to see if there's any changes with this roster, if there's going to be some, at least direction with coaching, something new, something fresh, just something to kind of get us back on track and kind of bounce back with the Philadelphia Eagles. And it looks like, as of right now, breaking for the Eagles signed a new defensive tackle. Linval Joseph signs with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Linval Joseph is 35 years old. I mean, I haven't really heard his name since I think when he played with the Vikings in 2017, and really before that, since he was a Giants second-round pick from 2010. I mean, really, I haven't heard his name in a long time. Like I said, 35 years old. Just here to clog the hole, and that's it. Now, Marlon T is actually hurt as well, which I didn't even know that. So not only you lost Jordan Davis, and he comes back in a few weeks, but Marlon T is hurt too, which I was kind of surprised he was even on the injury report in this game. So this is just, nothing for numbers. This is to clog the hole. The Eagles have given up 100. They have averaged 158 yards against the run, which is just insane. The Eagles had to make a move. I was kind of waiting for it, and maybe I was waiting more of a Dominican Sue type signing, but at this point, I don't think it really matters. Now, once Jordan Davis comes back in a few weeks, Linval Joseph will probably be more. Of a, we have more value, I guess, in the rotation. But at least he's in the building now. He's a lot older. So how much am I expecting out of Linval Joseph? Played with the Chargers last year. Only had a sack. I'm not worried about his sack numbers. I just need somebody to not be moved from the middle of the field so we can get some tackles against the run here. And not, and I think it's more than just signing a guy. I feel like this is just a cop-out type move. And I understand they had to make a move, but Jonathan Gannon is relying on the talent to make plays in his scheme. Is he going to change his scheme? That's going to be the big problem. That's the big issue right now. I mean, when this news came out today, I pretty much said, this doesn't fix the problem. It helps it, but is it really going to fix it at the end of the day? Gannon's got to really find his way with this defense, because you were given a defense this year from last year, totally night and day. Get your linebackers, put them in the position to get physical. Our linebackers are taking hits more than giving them. You're not putting enough guys in the box. You're not being aggressive. You're blitzing. You've blitzed 2 times the past 2 games. You had no stunts in this game against Washington, and you choked, and you made no adjustments. You just choked. So, there's a lot going on, but Linval Joseph, at least they signed somebody, not the player. You can't make trades. You can't do anything that's crazy right now because the trade deadline. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? How you ain't going to give up draft picks for another. There's nothing much to do here except bring in a savvy vet and to bring someone in that's just going to help out till Jordan Davis comes back. And the good thing about this, like I said before, is you're already going to have Linval Joseph here when Jordan Davis is back. So you got a veteran, another veteran added to your defensive tackle position, which isn't a bad thing. Hopefully Linval Joseph just stays healthy, and that's really it. So that's the news on Linval Joseph. Now, the roster moves as of right now. So Dallas Goedert to the IR. Marlon T on the injured reserve. They've activated Tyree Jackson off the 21-day practice window, but he's off the PUP list as of right now. The Eagles signed. They got rid of Auden Tate, the wide receiver from the practice squad. They released him the other day. They signed safety Marquise Blair to the practice squad. And opened the 21-day practice window for defensive end Janarius Robinson, who was with the Vikings before he came to Philadelphia. Now, the biggest one here is going to be Dallas Goedert going into this week, and on the IR, a really big loss. And I'm still really pissed off about this, how this man got injured and how they didn't call a flag on that damn face mask. I'm sorry, but I just can't get over it. And it's really because of that face mask, that's why he's injured. And that play wasn't visible to the refs. That was reported by the refs during that game that it wasn't. They couldn't visibly see the face mask, which I can't even believe this. Really pisses me off. The NFL should be ashamed. I'm disgusted over it. The guy could have broke his neck, or what if this guy had a career-ending injury? You know what I mean? If this happened, forget about it. I wouldn't get over this. I'm still not over it as of right now. It really pisses me off. But what I can tell you is this. Jalen Hurts did have his press conference and did talk about this injury in general, that you cannot replace Dallas Goedert, and I don't think you can. But what I can see so far is you have two other tight ends right now that have two different skill sets. Okay, this is a next man up mentality type move, and I've been happy with Jack Stoll. I've been fine with him. I never really was a big Jack Stoll fan, but really since the Cowboys game, he's been getting his catches, not just being that, not doing the dirty work, not just doing, and just blocking too much. He's been getting the ball every week, which I really do like. This is an undrafted tight end that's really had a lot of playing time since he was undrafted, since he got to Philadelphia. So you're not going to get explosiveness from Jack Stoll, but the guy gets separation. The guy can get open and take advantage of it. You're like I said, maybe we're about to see what our second tight end is going to look like going into next year in 2023. Not only Jack Stoll, but Jalen Hurts talked about Grant Calcaterra as well. If you guys remember, Grant Calcaterra, I think Grant was undrafted as well, and Grant played with Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. I don't know how long he played with him at Oklahoma, but he transferred from Oklahoma to SMU because he had concussions, and I don't know, maybe there was just no room for him to start. That's why he went to a whole nother school. But we haven't seen Grant Calcaterra since the first Washington game, first play of the second half, where he pretty much got a pass, ran down the sideline, kept his balance, and I was surprised he was even in the game. But you have a very fast, speedy tight end in Grant Calcaterra, and I want to see more of what he could do. Tyree Jackson is available as of right now, which I don't know if they really play him. They're going to activate probably, depending on what they need to do, they might have just two tight ends activate because they need more on that defensive line going into, these next few games with Jordan Davis not being back. So I could see Jack Stoll and Grant really being the leaders to this tight end group as of right now, unless they want to activate three, if they can get that done. Since Goedert is out, and Tyree Jackson, this would be his second year playing tight end. But more of a project. He's 6'7", big body, long arms, big hands, had some drops last year, but, coming off the ACL, what is he going to look like? Probably not much. Probably is more of a next year off-season type thing with Tyree Jackson. But I'm very big on Jack Stoll. I've been starting to grow on me a little bit since the Cowboys game, and kind of since the first Cowboys game, and every week has been acclimated and has been making plays, has been making blocks, and I like that he's in the receiving game a little bit more, so they're starting to trust him just a little bit. Kind of like Zach Pascal, does a lot of the dirty work, but when he gets his opportunity, he's very reliable. And like I said, Calcaterra's got pretty much all speed. I don't know how good his blocking is, but I know his speed. He's got a lot of good speed right now. So we'll see what happens with this tight end group. But the Goedert to IR is a loss. I don't know if he's out. He was in a sling coming into practice. I don't know if he's out the whole entire year. But you could see him back in the playoffs at the end of the year, most likely. So, unfortunately, it was a big loss, but I think you can compensate for this injury. I think Jack Stoll, like I said, you're not going to get another Dallas Goedert at tight end, but you're going to get I think a very productive. I think we're about to see like what this tight end group is all about. And I'm not saying look, if it was a bad group, I would say we're not going to do anything at this position, and we need to go sign somebody like a vet or someone that's available. But I don't think they have to. I think they have Jack Stoll is very reliable, and Calcaterra is definitely learning. Has had opportunity early in the season, but they kind of strayed away from it. But I think with the injury now, they get more of an opportunity to get some things done. So, which would be pretty cool. Lastly, and this was after we became 8-0, and there was a big interview with Nakobe Dean. Now, fans have been saying every single week, why is Nakobe Dean not playing and all this stuff, okay? We've been kind of saying this every week. Now, so far, Nakobe Dean had an interview, I think, last week, and, very happy to be in Philadelphia and will, has been playing special teams, but is sitting waiting for his opportunity. Now, I don't think the Eagles had to load up on linebacker this year. I mean, there was no doubt about it. Getting Kaiser White with TJ Edwards already here, Davion Taylor was already here. They had to add to this group, and I'm glad that they didn't just draft Nakobe Dean and just say, okay, we're done. I'm glad they added Kaiser White because I think he has made a big difference this year. Obviously, when Gannon used these linebackers a lot better, they will play better. They're not looking like, lately they're not looking like they're doing enough because he's got them in coverage, not stacking the box, not, no blitz packages for these linebackers. And the issue is there's a lot of, reputation in front of these tight ends, in front of these linebackers in front of Nakobe Dean right now. The unfortunate part about it is Nakobe Dean probably will not play until next year. Unless there's an injury or something like that, Nakobe Dean will not play this year. It's not that Nakobe Dean has no talent. The Eagles are loaded at linebacker, okay? So they're putting guys in that have just played longer, that have better resumes, that, the hot hand is in at linebacker. And I understand when I say the hot hand is in at linebacker. Well, they're not playing well. A lot of these players aren't playing well defensively because of Jonathan Gannon's scheme. Slay had his worst game against Washington, so it doesn't mean Slay is bad. It's just you got a corner off 15 yards off the line with a receiver getting a free release off the line, and you're 15 yards back, and they're going 100%, and you have to react when they break the route. It's just not fair to put your player in that position for them to succeed. The talent is just ridiculous right now. So Nakobe Dean will get his shot. It just won't be this year. Like I said, unless there's injury, he'll play special teams, and he'll just do his thing. But he's a sponge in the linebacker room right now with Nick Reynolds kind of leading the group. I think our linebacker coach is great. I've had no issue with him at all. Like I said, it's really just been scheme that's been holding these players back for what they could do. You know what I mean? So that's been the biggest problem. Okay, he's been playing a lot of scout defense. I understand playing scout defense means nothing because you're not playing in a real game, but we saw the immediate impact that Nakobe Dean had in the linebacker position in preseason. We saw the thumper that he is, the field general that he is, and I think he will be that. I kind of want him to have some playing time this year just because, I don't want him to just be fresh for games next year. I want him to at least have some experience in real games. And I think that's going to be a big problem, but not really a big deal. That's why the Eagles have not put him in games this year. They don't want to make too many changes and switch guys in and out, and they don't want to make too many changes. But, I have no problem putting him in blitz packages or putting him in games or whatever you're going to really use him for. This could be your future middle linebacker of the future for years to come. And this is, it depends what the coaching staff does. If they wait till next year, I have no problem with it. You got more experienced guys in front of him that have played longer, and that's just what that's the only thing he's really getting beaten by out of a starting job is experience. That's really it at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it. So that is the news for the Philadelphia Eagles today. Linval Joseph, do you like this signing? Is a good signing for at least down the road. It's a one-year deal, guys, so I'm not making a big deal out of it. But I think once Jordan Davis comes back, then have Linval Joseph, I think it's going to be nice having Linval and Jordan Davis next to each other with that second rotation. And then depending what Gannon does, because that's what it is going to make a difference. And it's it just gives me such a headache the past 2 games that the Texans have exploited the weakness that we have had, and Washington took advantage of it in 10 days of practice and preparation, and the Eagles had, and Gannon has done nothing in 10 days of preparation but say, hey, I'm going to let my players bail me out, but I'm running the same scheme. I don't like that. It's not fair on these players at all. And trust me, if you lose another game and another game, it's going to get ugly. You could save this season right now. And I can't believe I'm saying save this season. We're 8-1, top of the NFC East. I'm saying save this season. It's really sad to say it that way. It's really sad. So I'm hoping with these changes, there's more of a coaching change, not a firing, but there's got to be a little bit more leeway from Vic Fangio or something. You can't play like this. 158 yards. You're giving up 158 yards defensively against the run the past 2 weeks. I mean, averaging yardage. It's disgusting. It really is. Howie Roseman has built this roster defensively not to look like this, and Jonathan Gannon is not helping it. They better have reprimanded him this week. They better have sat him down this week and saying this is not working. This bend don't break defense is not working anymore. Can you please get these linebackers? Can you shoot these linebackers through the gaps? Can you do something? Because you're not showing 1% of aggression in these games. And Washington looked nothing but confident. Going on fourth down a few times, and 3rd and 1. How many times? 2 series, 16-play drives. I mean, you can't play like this anymore. It just can't happen. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shake Split Up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.